Good evening and welcome to our first virtual education celebration. I'm Sally Bindley, the founder and CEO of School on Wheels. I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Before we begin the program, we want to give a congratulations to all of you who won silent auction packages. We know you've been watching and bidding all week. You're getting something great to take home, and the money you spent is going directly to our programs. Didn't get that package that you were wanting to take home? Missed the silent auction? Don't fret. You can still support our programs and help break the cycle of homelessness through education by being with us here tonight. I'm thrilled to be here tonight with Sarah Jones of WTHR. Thanks for being here, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me. When you guys asked if I wanted to do this, I was so excited because, sometimes you go out and you do stories on a bunch of organizations and then you actually get to see their work that they're doing firsthand. And when I saw these kids excited to learn, I remember seeing this one little counting double-digit numbers, knowing them right off the bat in a board game, a bingo board game. And I just thought, wow, this is real. This is real work. And whatever I can do to help amplify, however I can help, I'm there. So thank you so much for having me here, Sally. Welcome and thank you all for joining us tonight as we celebrate the power education has to transform lives and communities. I'm honored to be here with Sally to present some exciting and much deserved awards, raise awareness of this terrific organization, and encourage you to provide critical support to help Indianapolis homeless children achieve academic success.
The past 3 months have been challenging on a number of fronts. Many of us have had to navigate the stress, trauma, and uncertainty of a pandemic paired with a community that's hurting. These things might be new to us, and they might be experiences we're not familiar with. They are not new to the students and families we serve at School on Wheels. Families who are impacted by homelessness are already burdened with the stress of securing employment. They're already burdened with the trauma of the events that led to their homelessness. And unfortunately, they are all too familiar with the feeling of uncertainty. The uncertainty that comes with keeping their kids in school and the uncertainty that comes with moving their families forward to sustainability. And they, at the same time, don't know where they're going to be living next month, next week, or even tomorrow. We don't know when this pandemic will be behind us, but what we do know is when the highest threat of this pandemic is over, it's going to leave in its wake unemployment, hunger, evictions, medical bills, and greater obstacles to accessing education than we have ever seen. More families will need our direct services. And with your help, we will be ready to support them.
It takes money to implement tutoring, both in person and remotely, and there's a cost to providing academic support to help homeless students move to the next grade level. Working directly with homeless parents to help them find the right school for their children, enroll in school, and have the resources needed to be successful in school takes dollars. That's why we're all here tonight. We're going to raise money to support School on Wheels as they level the academic playing field for children impacted by homelessness. If you already registered for the silent auction, you can give throughout the night at bit.ly/EC2020 Again, that's bit.ly/EC2020 donate. If you aren't already registered, text EC2020 to 243725 and receive a one-click login to join the fundraiser. Tonight, you'll be introduced to some amazing School on Wheels volunteers and supporters, and we'll share inspirational stories with you throughout the night. Just remember to give when you are inspired and know your dollars directly support School on Wheels programs. During the next 24 hours, our goal is to raise $24,000, and the clock starts now.
$24,000 can do so much right now. Please make a donation to keep our programs going strong. Some of you might wonder how we have responded to school closures due to the coronavirus. At School on Wheels, we did not pivot. We recreated, we reconfigured, we redesigned. We stayed connected while staying apart. When the coronavirus first hit, we reached out to all 17 of our partners and our School on Wheels families to ask them what they needed. And then we responded to their needs. We communicated with our kids and families via text, phone calls, and Zoom, and we created virtual classrooms for tutoring. We dropped off backpacks bursting with supplies, provided internet access to partners who did not have the bandwidth to support remote learning, and we put technology into the hands of the kids who were without. For 18 years, we have been aware of the gaps that exist for our kiddos. When a mom called our office and asked for a pencil sharpener for her kids, that gap took on greater meaning. Even before the virus hit, the need for our services had already increased. We had 80 additional kids in our program this year. During a normal school year, our tutoring program would have wrapped up on May 14th. But we're still tutoring our students. We're seeing our students on FaceTime and Zoom, and we're distributing individual learning kits throughout the city. The pandemic has not slowed us down. In fact, we've been doing more and more, and we know this pace will continue when our students return to schools.
Sally, you were saying the pandemic, you guys have been doing more, and you definitely have. I remember I reached out when the pandemic first started saying, how has it changed? And I was so surprised and inspired to hear that you guys are doing so much more, not just for the kiddos, but for the families as a whole.
Right. I mean, and I think one of the things that we need to think about is no one was ready for this, including parents. And our parents are navigating really difficult decisions on a good day. And so we needed to connect with our parents. We wanted to say, what do you need and how can we support you? And what has grown is just this really beautiful relationship where our parents are feeling supported in this remote learning. And remote learning is difficult for anyone. But it's nice that our parents can call us, they can text us. We have a parent who contacted us and said, oh, guess what? I almost forgot to read my bedtime story. And my kid, came over and said, remember, that's what we do at School on Wheels. You're supposed to read me a bedtime story every night. So our parents are getting engaged and learning for their kids. And our staff is feeling more connected. And we don't really want to disconnect. And so our summer program this year is bigger and stronger. We know summer learning loss is a big thing. And so we are continuing to connect with our families through the summer. When we support our parents in uncertain times, they will support their kids. And that's what we really need.
That support is amazing. And I love that the kiddo was like, Mom, you forgot the
Yeah,
bedtime story. That is
right.
definitely a School on Wheels kid because they're excited, wanting to learn, and they carry that on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's why we need your help. $5, $50, or $5,000 gifts all help us meet this increased need. If you don't have the means to support us, you can help elevate what we're doing by sharing our story. Share this on social media. Have a conversation with a friend or colleague about what you learned tonight and make sure that the School on Wheels kids feel heard and supported and cared about. There is so much work to be done, and we can't do it alone. Now we're going to check back in with one of our supporters, Dr. Gail Cox, who is joining us from her home this evening.
Hi, Gail. How are things going?
Hi, Sally. Just checking in, watching you tell the story of School on Wheels has been exciting. As you know, my husband and I have been tutors in the program for quite a few years now. And believe me, we feel it's been time very well spent. Upon retirement from the faculty at IU, I wanted to do something that gives back to the community, but not just gives back, but gives back in a meaningful way. So volunteering as a tutor has been a no-brainer. We couldn't be happier with the results of our experience there. Tutoring children whose families are homeless and who face many other obstacles was a perfect fit and a perfect way to direct both our time as well as resources. Educating children whose families are struggling and really are caught up in the issue of homelessness is a very, very difficult one. And we want to do something that would prepare the children for a better future. I believe that the essence of greatness resides, at least the potential, resides in all children. They're the ones who are going to help us build a better world. And certainly, as we experience the difficult times that we find ourselves now in, we know having children who are well prepared to contribute to our country and to society at large is of the utmost importance.
Thank you so much, Gail. We appreciate you being here for our virtual event. We are so lucky to have your amazing talents, support, and insight, and it was great to see you this evening. Gail Cox is no stranger to education. She spent her entire career teaching, becoming educated herself. And then when it came time to retire, she spent her time with us. She and her husband give back to us in such meaningful ways. They're dedicated tutors, amazing voices of support and encouragement that helps our fundraising efforts too. Before we move on to the award presentation, I want to make sure to take the time to thank our presenting sponsors, BMO Harris Bank and Defenders. This event would not be possible without their generosity. We also want to give special thanks to our Platinum Technology sponsor, Archimed, our VIP sponsor, Bindley Capital Partners, our award sponsors, Kirby Risk, Royal United Mortgage, and One America. We also want to thank all of our scholar and volunteer sponsors. Please help us show gratitude to all of these great people in the community by honoring them with your patronage, because their support is helping to keep our programs going strong. Tonight, we will honor 5 individuals and organizations who stand out among our excellent volunteers and supporters for their dedication to our mission and impact.
It's an honor to help introduce you to the people and organizations that give so selflessly and generously to School on Wheels and the children and families they serve. Our first award honors the Corporate Partner of the Year, Defenders. Now an ADT company and provider of smart home security, lives its purpose of being called to grow and inspire leaders who love and serve people. In addition to being a presenting sponsor of the event, they provide volunteer leadership through board involvement, help prepare this year's curriculum kits used during tutoring, serve as volunteer tutors, and have held tutor recruitment and uniform drives to support School on Wheel kiddos. Their full circle support is of value to School on Wheels and this community. Thank you, Defenders.
Team Agastia is our tutoring team of the year. This team is comprised of 11 team members who tutor during their regular shifts and also sub at different sites when we need additional support. Team Agastia members also serve on our diversity committee, regularly participate in ongoing education workshops, collect books and supplies for our kids, and help us raise critical funding for our programs. Their team is focused on education and learning on every level as they help us grow stronger as an organization. We are grateful for the many gifts Team Agastia shares with us and our students.
The 2020 Philanthropist of the Year award goes to the Tom and Julie Wood Family Foundation. The foundation recognizes the importance of ensuring underserved children and families have access to food, security, healthcare, shelter, and education, while honoring the life and dignity of all members in the community. Since 2017, their generous contributions have allowed School on Wheels to expand school-based programming to 4 additional sites, invest in critical information technology for data collection, and impact reporting, and create a sustainability plan that will ensure growth for many years to come. The 2020 Education Champion Award goes to Stacy Pigg. As the Culture and Climate Specialist at Cold Spring School, Stacy is the glue that creates the school culture and environment. She helps students with social emotional learning, disciplined conversations, restorative justice, and interpersonal relationships and communication. Nominated by fellow educator, Stacy was selected as this year's award winner by the panel of experts in the field of education. In addition to this honor, she will receive $1,000 to use towards a project that supports her students at Cold Spring School.
Over 400 volunteer tutors dedicate thousands of hours each school year to help ensure student success. They show up weekly to help our students stay on track, build grade level skills, and stay in school. Consistent grade promotion is a critical factor in student achievement and graduation from high school. But frequent moves and disruptions among homeless students leads to higher truancy rates. And each time a student moves, it takes 4 to 6 months to catch up academically. But our tutors help us make sure our students don't fall too far behind. Last school year, 98% of our students who attended 30 or more tutoring sessions were promoted to the next grade. The number of students we impact is important, and the grade data is too, but we cannot do this work alone. Our volunteer tutors help provide the stability and safety that is critical to helping our students build confidence and flourish. One such tutor is Celeste Williams, who is being honored tonight as this year's Tutor of the Year. Celeste has been a tutor with us for 13 years, devoting hundreds of hours to tutoring our students. As a former newspaper journalist, Celeste covered several stories that put her in contact with individuals experiencing homelessness in Indianapolis. The desire to help those that she was reporting on led Celeste to jump at the chance to be a volunteer with School on Wheels. More than a decade later, Celeste still remains a strong advocate for our kids and now sits on our diversity committee as well as supports our mission by engaging others in what we do. As a writer and storyteller, Celeste has a natural ability to engage and excite students about telling their own stories. Her favorite part of tutoring is working with kiddos on their writing prompts at the start of each session. Last year, Celeste compiled writing prompts responses from every student at her tutoring location and had their stories copied and bound to be shared with our staff, tutors, students, and the writers themselves. They were so proud to receive their words printed and bound, a validation that their words belong on pages in a book and their stories deserve to be told. Congratulations to Celeste and each of our award winners who make it possible for us to tutor 400 children each year and transform their lives with education.
Congratulations to Celeste and to each of the 2020 award winners honored here tonight. It's clear to see that volunteers and supporters are critical to School on Wheels' ability to provide tutoring and academic support to children impacted by homelessness across our city. Education makes a big difference, especially when the intervention is early on. It makes a difference for children knowing that their voices count, that they need to be heard. Like the book you mentioned, Sally, that's amazing. And I love that those kids find that out early on, that every child matters. And that's really what School on Wheels is about. And we know this pandemic has definitely taken an economic toll for many families, and there are going to be many more kids that are going to need School on Wheels in their life. I was able to hear one of the School on Wheels children's story firsthand, Camilla. She's now a volunteer, and she told me how much it made a difference when she was going through a transitional period in her life with her family, worrying about things kids shouldn't have to worry about, but sometimes we don't have control over these factors. But School on Wheels made her realize she matters, she's important, and she can do anything she wants in her life. And that's what she wants to make sure other kids know. So that's why she's a volunteer. I interviewed her several months, or actually it was last year, so way before this pandemic, way before social distancing and e-learning. And I'm excited for each of you to hear Camilla's story today.
My name is Camilla Woolfork, and I am a classroom assistant in Indianapolis Public Schools. I work at Center for Inquiry.
My name is Erin Brown. I'm the Education Director of Shelter-Based Services at School on Wheels. Camilla is a School on Wheels tutor, and she actually has also been a School on Wheels student in the past. Her family has experienced homelessness on and off since she was in school.
When I was an 8th grader, my mom actually moved us to Indianapolis. We were doing good for about a couple of years, and then things just started happening. She had an abusive relationship, so we had to figure out a place to go really fast.
Camilla, like a lot of kids who are living in homelessness, could have very easily gotten to the situation where education fell to the wayside. You're much more worried about following the rules at a shelter, making sure you're getting all the meals that you need to get in a day.
This was a time in my life where I refused to learn. I didn't care about education, and anyone who knows me knows that is completely out of my character. Then when I started missing things and now my grades are slipping into C's, I'd never seen a C before, and I panicked. So then one day we hear on like the PA system, School on Wheels is available.
So when School on Wheels came to the shelter, she was able to see, oh, okay, 3 nights a week, I have somebody here who's telling me, education really is important. You really need to focus on this. And they're reminding you of that regularly.
I definitely remember the impact they made, and it made me love learning again. Back in that time, I needed the person that I am today. So that is why I'm the person I am today. After we were given a place to live and assistance with like food, so we don't have to worry about those things, then I decided I'm gonna be a School on Wheels tutor because I'm old enough. Through this whole process, it was me going from here to here, not being happy, not wanting to be happy, just wanting to make it through. And I realized as I grew older and I discovered the different types of kids, the different types of people, the different types of homelessness, then it's like, this affects more people than you think. And who can change the world? You can.
She was a employee at my daughter's school at the after school program. At the end of the school year last year, I remember she saw my shirt and she was like, oh, School on Wheels. And I was like, oh, great. How do you know about us? And she said, oh, I went to School on Wheels and then I volunteered there. And I was like, oh, I think it was the following school year, the beginning of this year, when she said that she actually wanted to get back into tutoring again.
I mean, even if I make an impact on one kid, that's the world to me. I would rather you not have to be here, but since you are, we're gonna make the best of it.
The staff that works with her directly has talked about how great she is with the students that she works with and how committed she is. And, she comes week after week. She takes the time out of her day to be able to help kids that were in the same situation that she had been in before. Camilla was able to go to the shelter where her family was living and actually tutor her siblings. What an experience to have.
I ended up working at a school because I loved learning again. And I want to make sure that other kids love learning. And then I do that through School on Wheels. School on Wheels helped me, I helped them. It's like a never-ending cycle of greatness and education.
At School on Wheels, we work every day to make stories like Camilla's possible.
Like Camilla says in the video, when she was a kid, she needed the person she is today. With your help, we can make sure that every child in our program gets critical academic support and meets tutors who will renew or spark their appreciation for education, build their confidence, and give them the tools they need to succeed academically so they can break the cycle of homelessness for themselves and go on to do all that they are capable of achieving. That's why we're asking for your support tonight and your help to raise $24,000 in the next 24 hours.
Camilla represents just one student of the more than 5,000 that School on Wheels has served over the years. The pandemic means that when children go back to school, there will be greater need than this organization in our city has seen with increased unemployment, greater poverty, and evictions. They can't do the important work of helping children and families impacted by homelessness without your help. Remember, you can donate at bit.ly/EC2020 or text EC2020 to 243-725 and receive a one-click login to join the fundraiser.
You can give a gift that's meaningful for you right now. And over the next 24 hours, help us encourage others to give as well. We know we can meet this goal together, especially with a little bit of encouragement.
Thank you all for joining us online tonight to celebrate education and, most importantly, for supporting the kids and families School on Wheels serves. And thank you to all of our sponsors this evening, especially our presenting sponsors, BMO Harris Bank and Defenders. Your dedication to education is amazing, and your support for our community is inspiring. Thanks again to our Platinum Technology sponsor, Archimed, along with all of our scholars and volunteer sponsors.
Behind every great event, live or virtual, and every effective nonprofit are the people. If you are a volunteer tutor, member of the board of directors, advisory board, spokes committee, and auction and event committees, Thank you. I wish I could thank you in person. If you are new to School on Wheels and you're tuning in for the first time and you're looking for ways to stay connected and involved with us, visit us at indieschoolonwheels.org and follow us on social media. We can do so much together. Be sure to stay tuned into our fundraising efforts over the next 24 hours and look for an update tomorrow night. We're hoping to blow past that $24,000 goal because we have a lot of work to do, and we know we can do it with your help. Thank you so much again to Sarah Jones from WTHR for being here. It was delightful to share the stage with you, and we really appreciate how much you support School on Wheels. And thank you for your time for being here this evening.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really awesome to see School on Wheels. When I went to do the story, I was so much more inspired after actually seeing the work and seeing how happy these kids are. And when you ask them, what do you love most about school? They aren't saying recess, they're saying science or math. And I am so honored to be here and do whatever I can to help. You guys are doing amazing work out there, really needed, especially after this pandemic. More kids are going to need it.
Great. Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you to everybody for joining us at home. Thank you for being here for a virtual event where we were social distancing. You're at home in the comfort of your own home, and we're all coming together for a great cause. Have a good night.